Welcome to today's exploration of one of life's most profound paradoxes: how the gentlest approach often yields the most powerful results. I'm here to share with you why intention consistently triumphs over force, and how understanding this principle can transform every aspect of your existence. In our culture of hustle and aggressive achievement, we've been conditioned to believe that harder always means better, that more force equals more results. But what if I told you that the universe operates on an entirely different principle? What if the secret to profound change lies not in pushing harder, but in aligning more deeply? The ancient wisdom of Wu Wei. Let's begin with an ancient Chinese concept that has guided sages for thousands of years. Wu Wei, often translated as non-action or effortless action. This isn't about being passive or lazy. It's about moving in harmony with the natural flow of life rather than against it. Lao Tzu, the legendary author of the Tao Te Ching, wrote, "The sage does not attempt anything very big, and thus achieves greatness." This seemingly simple statement contains a revolutionary truth about how real power operates in our world. Consider water, Lao Tzu's favorite metaphor. Water doesn't force its way through rock. It flows around obstacles, finds the path of least resistance. Yet over time, it carves the Grand Canyon. The Colorado River didn't use force to create one of nature's most magnificent sculptures. It used persistence, patience, and the power of gentle, continuous intention. The science behind subtle energy. Modern science is beginning to catch up with what ancient traditions have always known. Dr. David Hawkins, in his groundbreaking book Power versus Force, presents research showing that force always creates counterforce, while power attracts. Through his work with applied kinesiology, Hawkins demonstrated that high consciousness states like love, peace, and joy actually strengthen us physically, while states like anger, fear, and force weaken us. Quantum physics reveals that at the most fundamental level of reality, everything is energy and information. When we operate from intention rather than force, we're working with the quantum field itself, aligning with the underlying intelligence of the universe rather than fighting against it. Dr. Lynne McTaggart, in The Intention Experiment, documents numerous scientific studies showing how focused intention can influence physical reality at a distance. Groups of meditators have measurably reduced crime rates in cities, influenced the growth of plants, and even affected the molecular structure of water. This isn't mystical thinking. It's documented, peer-reviewed science. Real-life examples of intention in action. Let me share some powerful examples of how this principle manifests in real life. Gandhi transformed an entire nation without firing a single shot. His method, satyagraha, which translates to holding firmly to truth. Gandhi understood that moral force, backed by unwavering intention, was infinitely more powerful than physical force. When asked about his methods, he said, "In a gentle way, you can shake the world." The British Empire, with all its military might, couldn't withstand the quiet power of Gandhi's intention aligned with universal principles of justice and freedom. This is the paradox of subtle energy. It appears weak to the eye, yet it moves mountains. In the business world, consider Steve Jobs. While he was known for his intensity, his greatest innovations didn't come from forcing solutions but from his obsessive attention to intention and design philosophy. He often spoke about the importance of saying no to 1,000 good ideas to focus on the few great ones. Apple's success came not from doing more, but from doing less with perfect intention. In relationships, we see this principle constantly. Have you ever noticed how the more you chase someone, the more they pull away? Yet when you operate from genuine love and authentic intention, without trying to control outcomes, relationships naturally flourish. The person who says, "I need you," repels, while the person who says, "I love you," with no strings attached attracts. The neuroscience of intention. Dr. Joe Dispenza's research reveals fascinating insights about how intention literally rewires our brains. When we move from a state of stress and force into a state of elevated emotion combined with clear intention, we create new neural pathways that support the reality we're seeking to create. The brain doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's vividly imagined. When we hold clear intentions with emotional intensity but without desperate attachment, we're essentially programming our nervous system for success. This is why visualization works, but only when it's combined with genuine feeling and surrender to the process. Dispenza writes, "When you combine a clear intention with an elevated emotion, you begin to change your state of being. When you change your state of being, you change your personality. And when you change your personality, you change your personal reality." The paradox of surrender. Here's where it gets really interesting. The most powerful intentions are often held with what I call passionate detachment. You care deeply about the outcome, but you're not desperate for it. You're willing to receive what's best rather than forcing what you think you want. This paradox is beautifully expressed in the ancient Indian text, the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna teaches Arjuna about karma yoga, performing right action without attachment to results. When we act from this space, we align with Dharma, our highest purpose, rather than being driven by ego's limited desires. Think about a master archer. They don't force the arrow to hit the target. They align their body, focus their intention, and release with trust. The force isn't in the muscle straining. It's in the perfect coordination of all elements working together. Practical applications in daily life. So how do we apply this in our everyday lives? First, in your career, instead of forcing networking opportunities, focus your intention on how you can serve others. When your primary intention is contribution rather than extraction, opportunities naturally arise. People are drawn to those who seek to give rather than get. In health and healing, consider the difference between forcing your body through punishing exercise routines versus setting an intention for vitality and choosing activities that feel energizing. Both approaches can create physical change, but one depletes while the other regenerates. In creative endeavors, notice how your best work often comes when you're in flow, not when you're forcing it. Set your intention, create the conditions, then allow the creative force to work through you rather than trying to control every detail. Stephen King, in On Writing, describes how his most successful novels came not from forcing plot points, but from discovering the story as it wanted to unfold. He sets up the situation and characters with clear intention, then allows the story to reveal itself. The energy of money and abundance. This principle is particularly powerful when it comes to money and abundance. Force-based approaches to wealth creation often lead to burnout, ethical compromises, and ultimately unsustainable results. When we operate from scarcity and desperation, we actually repel the very abundance we seek. But when we align our intention with service, when we focus on creating value rather than extracting money, abundance flows naturally. The wealthiest people I know aren't focused primarily on money. They're focused on solving problems and serving others at the highest level. Wallace Wattles, in The Science of Getting Rich, wrote, "You must get rid of the thought of competition. You are to create, not to compete for what is already created." This is intention versus force in the realm of prosperity. Relationships and love. In relationships, force shows up as manipulation, control, and neediness. We try to make people love us, change for us, or behave according to our expectations. This approach invariably creates resistance and distance. Intention-based relating means showing up authentically, expressing your truth without trying to control how it's received, and loving without conditions. Paradoxically, when we stop trying to get love and start giving it freely, we become magnetic. The poet Rumi captured this beautifully. "Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray. This is the difference between chasing and attracting, between force and magnetic intention. The spiritual dimension. At its deepest level, this principle connects us to the fundamental nature of consciousness itself. Consciousness doesn't force. It simply is. Awareness doesn't struggle. It encompasses. When we align with this deeper intelligence, we begin to operate from what spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle calls the power of now. In meditation, we see this clearly. The more we force the mind to be quiet, the more it rebels. But when we set the gentle intention to be present and allow thoughts to come and go without resistance, natural stillness emerges. The mystic Meister Eckhart wrote, "God is not attained by a process of addition to anything in the soul, but by a process of subtraction." This is the essence of subtle energy. Less effort, more alignment. Less force, more flow. Overcoming the addiction to struggle. Many of us are unconsciously addicted to struggle. We've been programmed to believe that if something isn't difficult, it doesn't count. This belief keeps us trapped in force-based living, missing the grace that's always available. Breaking this addiction requires consciously choosing ease when it's available. It means trusting that the path of least resistance might actually be the right path, not a sign that we're being lazy or taking shortcuts. Gay Hendricks, in The Big Leap, identifies what he calls the upper limit problem, our tendency to sabotage ourselves when things get too good. We're more comfortable with struggle than with flow, more familiar with force than with grace. The ripple effect. When we operate from intention rather than force, we create ripple effects that extend far beyond our immediate circumstances. Our energy becomes a gift to everyone around us. We model a different way of being that gives others permission to release their own struggle. Children are particularly sensitive to this energy. A parent operating from calm intention creates an entirely different family dynamic than one operating from stress and force. The same task accomplished with different energy creates completely different results in relationships. This is why Gandhi said, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." He understood that our internal state is our most powerful tool for transformation. Integration and practice. As we conclude, I want to leave you with some practical steps for integrating this wisdom into your daily life. Start each day by setting clear intentions rather than rigid goals. Ask yourself, how do I want to show up today? What energy do I want to bring to my interactions? This simple shift can transform your entire experience. When you notice yourself forcing, pause and breathe. Ask, how can I accomplish this same outcome with more ease and grace? Often, the answer involves stepping back, getting clear on your deeper intention, and approaching from a different angle. Practice what I call inspired action, action that comes from alignment rather than anxiety. This means tuning into your inner guidance before moving, checking whether your motivation is coming from love or fear, expansion or contraction. Remember, this isn't about being passive or avoiding necessary effort. It's about ensuring that your efforts are aligned with natural law rather than working against it. As the Tao Te Ching reminds us, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. The universe is already conspiring to support your highest good. Your job isn't to force it into submission, but to align yourself with its intelligence and allow it to work through you. When you do this, you discover that the most powerful force in the universe is the gentle, persistent intention of a heart aligned with truth. This is the secret that mystics, sages, and wise teachers throughout history have tried to convey. True power is soft, real strength is gentle, and the highest achievement comes not through force, but through perfect alignment with what wants to emerge. I hope this exploration has opened new pathways of understanding for you. The journey from force to intention is one of the most liberating transformations we can make, and I'd love to hear about your own experiences with this principle. In the comments below, Share a time when you experienced the power of intention over force in your own life. Maybe it was in a relationship, a creative project, your career, or your spiritual practice. What did you discover when you stopped pushing and started aligning? Your insights not only help you integrate this wisdom more deeply, but also inspire others who are walking the same path. Each story shared becomes a beacon of possibility for someone who needs to hear it. If this resonated with you and you'd like to explore more content on conscious living, spiritual wisdom, and practical mysticism, I invite you to subscribe and ring the notification bell. Together, we're building a community of people committed to living from their highest potential, choosing love over fear and intention over force. Remember, your transformation doesn't just change your life, it changes the world. Every person who chooses the path of gentle power contributes to the elevation of human consciousness. You matter more than you know. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next exploration of the infinite possibilities available to conscious hearts.